Uh, my dad was a bit of an introvert, and so he preferred low-key gatherings with no cake or first dance or happiness of any kind. He used to say, "Yeah, I'd rather go to a funeral than a wedding." And then some years later, he arranged for our family to attend a funeral by dying. And there's this one detail. He's in bed in the nursing home. My mom is there. He stopped eating. But my mom is like, what could it hurt? And she offers him a giant hot dog. And my dad devours it like Joey Chestnut on the boardwalk in Coney Island. Like he's seen the journey to come and he's decided to carbo load. And then 3 big breaths and he dies. And my mother is next to him saying, "You're a good man. You're a good man." My mom and dad were married for more than 50 years. They had 3 sons. I'm the oldest. My brothers, Tommy and Paul, growing up, they were kind of weird. They were not wantonly insubordinate, frequently irresponsible, or galloping pains in the ass. So someone had to be those things. And I applied myself. I set the record for detention at the Annunciation Catholic Grammar School. Cops chased me for swimming in the Kensico Reservoir. And this is the big one. I sassed a nun. Why am I still alive standing here talking to you? I do not know. So at the wake for my dad, my mom comes up to me and says, "Would you do the eulogy at the funeral tomorrow?" And I might not be remembering this exactly right, but my dad, who's in an open casket, when he heard her ask that of me, he bolted up and said, "No." I would not be his choice for that task. So this is my dilemma. Do I do the eulogy? As a boy, I stood on the top of our sloping lawn, and my dad was down below mowing the grass with a push mower. And I threw myself onto the ground and rolled down the hill and stopped at his feet. I looked up. He was tall. His white t-shirt was tight against his chest, and the sun was glowing behind his head. He was a colossus. And then years go by, and from my point of view, the colossus morphs into kind of a regular guy with problems. My dad could be fearful of people and of the world. And I think it's why he clung to rules. Rules told you what to do and how to be. And that's what he liked about them. And that's what I disliked. So, what is this part here? As a teenager, one day, one of the days, I went illegally swimming in Kensico Reservoir. My friend is driving me back home, and we pull up, and there's my dad, and he sees me, and clearly he understands that I have been having too much fun. The kind of fun that he could have had at my age had he dared. And I think he kind of knew that, and it made him mad. So later at dinner, in front of everyone, he slams the table and he says, "There's a lot of crap going on in this house, a lot of crap." There's someone who does what he wants to do instead of what he's supposed to do. And I had just had it. So I got up from the table, I grabbed my baseball mitt, and I ran to Schultz Field because it was a summer night and there was a game. And I'm in the game now, and I'm at bat, and I'm still pissed off. So I just close my eyes and I swing as hard as I can, and I hit a triple. Yeah. And I'm standing on third base, and I just happen to glance at the outfield fence, and there's my dad. He's followed me to the field to watch me play because he can't help himself. He taught me baseball as a kid, which was a law back then in the United States. And no matter how things have been between us, we've always had baseball. Even years later, when he and I have made up, but we still can't quite figure out how to be close, I can just bring up his team, the Yankees, and he can talk about my team, the Mets. Even then, we couldn't agree. So, stunted emotions and sports talk. It doesn't get more American male than that. So I'm on third base, and I'm taking my lead. I'm looking at the pitcher, and I'm fake like I'm going to steal home. And the pitcher looks at me like, dude, I am right here. I'm holding the ball. I see you. You can't make it home. And of course, he's right. There's no way I could do that because, and then I go. And he freezes. And then he throws high. I slide, safe. All right, baseball is a game of unwritten rules about what is a good play and what is not. And I've just broken at least 3 rules. But you know what? Screw the rules. And still, I had to look out to the outfield fence to get my dad's reaction. And he's doing this. But I see it. He's smiling. I do the eulogy. And I talk about rolling down a grassy hill and stopping at the feet of my father and looking up and seeing the sun. I talk about the good things. And afterward, my mom comes up to me with this bulging manila envelope with my name written on it in my dad's handwriting. And I'm like, what's this? And she says, open it. And inside is every one of the hundreds of stories I've written for the New York Times. And my dad has been cutting them out one by one. I never knew it. He's been cutting them out and keeping them safe at home. Thank you.
Jim O'Grady.